I'm going to give you 10 reasons why the Georgia Bulldogs can win the national championship, can win the college football playoff, and earn Kirby Smart his third national title in 2025. Let's get right to it. Here's why Kirby Smart can win his third national title. I want to start off with reason number one. It is he himself, the man, the myth, the legend, Kirby Smart. He's college football's best head coach by a mile. When you have a quarterback in Carson Beck who has multiple games with 3 or more turnovers, one against Texas on the road, one against Florida Neutral Field, another against Alabama on the road, and you go 2-1 in those matchups with a winning point differential, and your one loss is a failed comeback attempt where at one point you retook the lead and you only lost by 7, that is elite game management. He's the only active head coach right now to have 2 national championships in the 2020s decade. Before we resume this segment, please take a few seconds of your time to make sure you have liked the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell for the channel and for any team podcasts and playlists linked in the description, and also comment your thoughts down below in the comment section and join my Discord server via the description. All of those things I just asked you to do are completely free, and they sign you up for things related to my channel, or they don't sign you up for anything. No cost to you, and all the benefit to you because we release daily college football content here on College Football with Sam. If you want to support the channel monetarily, sign up for a YouTube membership, or check any other links in the description for my merchandise store and Patreon page. Thank you very much, and let's get back to the segment. Dabo Swinney has 2 titles, but both came in the 2010s, and since then Clemson has declined. Ohio State and Ryan Day have 1, but it was a national title team that, while they had a good run, had 2 losses and weren't as dominant statistically and didn't have the same type of overall roster, in my opinion, that the 2 Georgia national champions did. So Kirby Smart right now is the most consistent program in football, the program that I think is going to get the best out of its players and do the best job developmentally, transitioning players' talents from high school through college to the NFL. He's reason number 1 why Georgia can win it all this season. Reason number 2, they got a top 3 staff. The only other staffs in contention with Georgia's, I think, are Penn State and Texas, and that is with Sarkisian as the de facto OC for Texas and Pete Kwiatkowski as the DC. And for Penn State, Kotelnicki is the offensive coordinator and Jim Knowles is the defensive coordinator. A lot of elite names there. That's why I included them with Georgia's staff. But Georgia, when you got Glenn Schumann as the DC, Kirby Smart obviously in his ear, you got Trey Scott as the D-line coach, Mike Bobo as the offensive coordinator, Stacy Searles as the offensive line coach, and there's several other great names on that staff. I believe that this staff is in a better position than any staff outside of maybe Texas and Penn State to take advantage of this season and all the chaos that comes with it. And especially when you are losing the amount of production Georgia does, it's important to have a staff that can retool, reload, and at least you have some type of consistency, unlike some programs that lose a lot and also have coordinator changes and downgrades. Georgia does not have that. They retain elite staffers, and I think that's going to help them in developing some new players into the freaks that Georgia always seems to have. Up next, they have the deepest wide receiver room in the SEC. Who would have ever thought that I would have said that a year ago? Or anyone would have said that a year ago. Would have never happened. But they have it. They have Noah Thomas, Dylan Bell. Give me and feed me Zachariah Branch, not just as a return specialist, but as a receiver. You got Colby Young, a big guy, and then London Humphreys, who I think is a great rotational player and balled out at Vanderbilt in 2023. I think it's the deepest in the SEC. Auburn has way better starters. Alabama, far better starters. LSU I think is the one that could compete with them in terms of depth. They also have far better starters. You also have Texas, better starters. But if we're talking about just purely depth, and not dropping off if you deal with injuries or have to go from guy 1 to guy 3 or 4 or even 5, I think Georgia has everyone else edged out there. It's a really good wide receiver room. It's part of the reason I'm so high on Gunnar Stockton. Huge part of the reason why. Also a huge part of the reason why I think Georgia can win it all this year and will likely improve from what was a disappointing 2024 campaign relative to Smart and Bulldogs' expectations. Reason number 4 is the stacked defensive line, led by Christian Miller, but with some interesting, intriguing contributors, such as maybe Elijah Griffin, or Xavier McLeod, or Jordan Hall. You also have Elo Mendozi, Gabe Harris, Joseph Jonah Ojanye, on edge, defensive end, whatever you want to call it. What they did against Texas last year, deciding, hey, we're going to line up in a 5-2, 5-2-4. We're going to put our defensive backs on an island, and we're just going to wreck this Texas O-line that has NFL tackles, NFL guards, and NFL center. No one else but Kirby Smart in Georgia. No one else. And what they've been able to do, producing NFL pick after NFL pick, NFL player after NFL player, imposing D-line after imposing D-line. It's going to be the same thing this year, just this time Christian Miller is going to lead the elite group. I think this will be a better D-line unit than 2023, and I think there's a chance it's better than 2024 just based on the way they've continued to recruit there and some of the portal additions they've made, mainly Elo Mendozi, and the fact they bring back Christian Miller, who I think was their best defensive tackle last season. Reason number 5, moving on, is that they got freaks everywhere. When you have freak athletes, that does a world of good for you. Where does Georgia not have talent? They got it at running back. If Nate Frazier can improve ball security, he's an awesome running back. They have it at quarterback. Stockton was a top 100 player out of high school, and who's to say he can't be good this year? They have it at tight end, the O-line. Have you seen what they do in terms of O-line development? And more importantly than that, because sometimes good NFL players don't play well together in college. We've seen this before at good schools or bad. They've consistently had good O-lines at Georgia. Consistently. Last year, I think, was kind of a fluke, if we're being honest. You look at wide receiver. Look what they've done in the portal. Branch is a freak. If his talent can be accessed, we've seen him at USC before. He has athleticism that not everyone is blessed with, that not everyone, even if they work their absolute hardest, can earn. You look on defense, we don't even need to talk about that. Even special teams, they might have the best punter and kicker in all of America. Freaks everywhere is a good reason why a team can win the national title, especially given Kirby Smart, the top 3 staff, the depth at wide receiver, not just the potential there in the starters, and the fact that the defensive line is also deep and stacked with talent, proven talent as well. Let's move on to the next set of reasons. Reason number 6 is NFL linebackers. I have Raylan Wilson, I got CJ Allen, and I have some other pieces behind them that can definitely emerge this season. They could have the deepest linebacker room in all of college football. They could. And their starters are very damn good too. So what is stopping this linebacker unit from shutting down most offenses it will face on the ground, getting to them in pass rush? We know that Georgia can do a lot of different things, can play to different formations, can adapt to different situations on defense. These linebackers are a huge part of that. Again, CJ Allen, Raylan Wilson. You also have Chris Cole and Justin Williams. Love what they have at linebacker. Absolutely love that group. You got tight end depth. Think of Lawson Lucky and Oscar Delp. Now, none of them are Brock Bowers. If any of them were, they would have been more consistent last year. But Georgia is healthy there, and they bring back 2 players. So you'd expect them, with Todd Hartley as their tight ends coach, to improve in that realm. That's reason number 7. Because having great tight ends and deep tight ends means you can operate out of multiple formations, multiple different personnel settings on offense. You have options to include more blockers, and you have a unique type of receiver that isn't easy to defend. Number 8 is the fact that Georgia is the best special teams unit in the country, and I don't think that's up for much debate unless you're maybe Iowa. Brett Thorson and Peyton Woodring are reliable. They're all-American caliber special teamers who can win close games, who can pin you deep. Look last year in the SEC championship game. The reason Texas didn't kick Georgia's rear in terms of not physicality, but just burying them so deep in yards and TOP that Georgia eventually just fell too far behind, like they did against Notre Dame, was that Bert Auburn kept missing his field goals and Texas couldn't score touchdowns. Georgia, meanwhile, made their field goals and capitalized on opportunities. So if you think teams doesn't matter, just ask Texas last year. It was the only thing that prevented them from being obviously better than the 2023 team. Ask Ohio State what special teams can do to you. If they had a kicker who could hit it from 50, they're probably 16-0 last year, or at least 15-1. Special teams matters, especially in a year that many are saying, and I think accurately, is going to be down. If no team is dominant, the team who's probably the most disciplined and a team whose teams, special teams, are effective may have the best odds to win and make a deep run and consistently win close games that you'll need to in the playoffs, most likely. Number 9 is that Georgia has casually the number 1 talent roster now that Saban's gone from Alabama. Their recruiting and development's just plainly unmatched, and you see that in how many NFL picks they produce yearly. You see that in how they've signed the number 1 class, I think, 1 or 2 times over the past 4 cycles, and they sign quality and quantity. And you see that in the fact that really outside of wide receiver, they've had good play at every position over the past few seasons. And if you go all the way back to 21 and 22, they've had excellent wide receiver play those years, and also some consistent play in 2023 in McConkey's final year. Reason number 10, the easier schedule. You only have 3 true road games, 2 neutral site games, and 7 home games. Your road games are, this is gonna be so interesting, right? They're Mississippi State, Auburn, Tennessee. Teams that probably have no quarterback. Yeah, interesting. You'll beat those teams by an average of 30 points per game, if not more. And that's with the new clock rules, where you're incentivized to shorten the game. It's crazy. I am telling you, Georgia is very underestimated. They are overlooked. They are viewed right now as the hunted by college football media. It plainly makes no sense, and that is why I gave you those 10 reasons that Georgia can win the national title. Smart can win his 3rd. This year, in my mind, is once again another year where they can do it. Their ceiling is higher than many think. Their floor is higher than many think. I would not count on this team to lose 3 games, as some are counting on them doing. Is it possible? Yes, they have some questions. It's also possible they could win 11 games with this schedule. It's much easier, sets up much better for them than last year, and more importantly, they got elite talent. They have stacked linebackers, defensive linemen. Even their O-line, I think, could rebound from last year. They return players at tight end. They got freaks everywhere. Their receiver room, I think, is going to be fixed. They have the best head coach. They have an elite staff. Their special teams are wonderful. I didn't even talk about the DBs in this video. And you got KJ Bolden and Dalen Everett, potentially Jonel Aguero, who could be All-Americans. This Georgia team can win it all. Those are the 10 reasons why. Thank you for watching College Football with Sam. Make sure that you've liked the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell for the channel and team playlists and podcasts in the description. Join the free Discord server where we talk college football 24/7, and have commented your thoughts down below. Check out the description for any ways you can support the channel monetarily. Everything else I've asked you to do is completely free, and your support means the world to me. We're trying to become the next big thing on college football YouTube. 6-figure subscribers, maybe 1 million one day. I think we can do that. And also check out any videos or playlists, anything in these columns right here, where there will be videos and playlists. Yeah, you get the point. Have a fantastic day, and I will see you in the next one.